Our root today is vert, which comes from a Latin word that means to turn. Some of our words today relate to turning towards something, turning away from something, or turning into something else entirely. Let's look at the words that we're going to cover. We'll be doing divert, convert, avert, versatile, and adversity today. Let's get started. Our first word is divert, and as usual, let's look at an example sentence so that you can try to figure out what the word means. We could say, the magician used a trick to divert everyone's attention while he pulled a rabbit out of his hat. So perhaps the magician diverted everyone's attention to the door or something like that, or perhaps to his left hand while he did something with his right hand. So magicians often need to divert the audience's attention because that gives them the opportunity to make something seem as though it appeared out of nowhere, even though it didn't. So what do you think divert would mean? Bearing in mind that vert means turn. By the way, guessing what this word means is a really important part of remembering what it means. So if you need some more time to think about it, just pause this video before I reveal the definition. Okay, so the definition is to change the direction or course of something. So when the magician diverts people's attention, he's turning their attention in another direction on purpose. Sometimes cars may be diverted, so they have to change their direction. They call that a diversion because they can't go in the direction that they originally planned. So that is divert. Let's look at the next word. Convert. Our sentence here is the old warehouse was converted into a cool art gallery. So it was a warehouse used for storing things, but then they converted it into something else. Perhaps you've heard of something being converted into something. Perhaps a garage could be converted into an office, or an attic could be converted into a bedroom. So what could it mean? We've got turn in there, so it's turning into something. The convert means to change or transform something so it can be used in a different way. So it just literally means turn into something else, basically. So in that case, it was the warehouse transforming into a gallery. But anytime you change something completely so that you can use it differently, that is converting. Okay, our third word is avert. You could say, the quick-thinking lifeguard was able to avert disaster by rescuing a swimmer who was struggling in the water. Now the a prefix here means from. So this word literally means turn away from. So he was able to avert disaster by rescuing the struggling swimmer. So what does the definition for avert say? So avert, we've got to prevent or avoid something from happening, like in that example sentence. So you have turned disaster away from this situation. You could think of it that way. And it can also mean to turn away from something. So that's when you physically turn away from something. So in that second definition, you might avert your gaze. So instead of looking at someone or something, you turn your gaze to somewhere else because perhaps you feel embarrassed or like you shouldn't be looking, so you avert your gaze. Similarly, you may avert your eyes so that you're not looking at something. With the first definition, there are quite a few collocations. So collocations are words that we use together often, like word pairs that we use often in everyday language. So you could use avert with disaster, catastrophe, tragedy, danger, or even war. So anytime you try to avoid one of those things, then you have averted it. See if you can think of some example sentences using those collocations. So like avert disaster or avert your gaze. You can put your example sentences in the comments because I will love to read them and I will reply. Okay, let's look at our next word. It's versatile. So you could say Emma is a versatile musician because she can play the piano, guitar, and even sing. So you may have heard the phrase someone can turn their hand to anything. And that's kind of what versatile means. So if you are versatile, you can turn your hand to anything. So you can do lots of different things. Let's look at the example sentence. Sorry, the definition, I mean. So you could say, able to do many different things or to be used in many different ways. Adaptable, so adaptable would be a synonym. So you could have an object that is very versatile. Some would say that a cardboard box is versatile. You could use it to make a fort, you could cut it out and make a shield, you could use it to store things. So you can turn it into many different things and use it in different ways. Okay, and finally, our last word is adversity. You could say, despite facing a lot of adversity, the determined young girl managed to achieve brilliant results. So adversity is kind of when life tries to turn you away from what you were trying to do. The definition is difficulties or challenges. So even though the young girl had a lot of challenges, she still succeeded. So when you face lots of challenges, that is adversity. And we often talk about facing adversity. That's another collocation for you. That brings us to the end of today's session. I hope you've learned something. And if you have enjoyed learning about roots and prefixes and you would love to learn more, then you will love our 11 plus vocabulary workbook available at wordia.online. And not only do you get a workbook with your purchase, but it comes with free online games as well to help you to revise the over 200 words that are included in the book. See you next time.